to destroy the entire Xbox brand before it had even managed to turn a profit. And yet, Microsoft pulled through. The Xbox 360 still turned out to be a massive commercial success, and the console is still remembered fondly by gamers even 20 years later. So how did they save it? And more importantly, how'd they manage to screw it up so bad in the first place? Well, the answer to that particular question actually begins with the Xbox. But as we'll soon come to learn, Microsoft's risky foray into the console market kinda got off on the wrong track. This is an ad segue. Thankfully, when it comes to online browsing, you can get on the right track with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN helps secure your online activity by rerouting your network traffic through secure servers, letting you take advantage of all the benefits a VPN has to offer. You see, normally, your internet service provider has access to all your browsing history, and in some countries, guess which one, they can even sell that browsing history to ad companies. Well, look out, ISPs, because we're about to go through a tunnel. An encryption tunnel? Whoa, that was a close one. But thanks to ExpressVPN, my online activity can remain my own. My favorite way to use it is when I'm streaming movies. With ExpressVPN, I can use IP masking to gain access to the streaming libraries from dozens of countries around the world. With just the click of a button, I can be from Sweden, or France, or Australia, or other countries that are socially acceptable to parody. Look, on the internet, your privacy should be your own. So find out how you can get up to 4 extra months of ExpressVPN by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description, or by going to expressvpn.com/slowstart. Now back to the video. In the year 2000, Microsoft was gearing up to make their commercial debut in the cutthroat world of console gaming. And it was quite a risky move. With companies like Sega, Nintendo, and Sony dominating the industry, it had been well over a decade since an American company had been legitimately competitive in the space. And with all the top companies now hailing from Japan, Microsoft's attempt to disrupt the industry was like a direct assault on their shores. I mean, this was like the Iwo Jima of the console wars. And they weren't really equipped for the job either. I mean, Microsoft was a software company. They didn't make hardware, let alone cool hardware. In the year 2000, the types of customers that got excited for Microsoft products were a completely different species from the ones that got hyped for the PS2. It just wasn't their market. If Microsoft wanted any chance of competing in the edgy new world of hardcore gaming, they would need to completely reinvent themselves. Less Microsoft, more jumbo hard. They needed a new name, a new look, a new attitude. They needed Xbox. Now on the surface, Microsoft's debut console was everything the company wanted it to be. It was big, it was bold, it was edgy. Hell, it looked like it could rob Microsoft Office for its lunch money. Even powering it on was intimidating. The Xbox's boot-up screen made you feel like you had to harness some kind of forbidden, arcane energy source just to be able to play Halo 2. It was badass. With the Xbox, Microsoft had developed a powerful and highly coveted new console that had officially given them a seat at the cool kids' table. It was a huge win for the company, but it came at a cost. Compared to the PS2, the Xbox was a commercial catastrophe, selling only 25 million units compared to the PS2's whopping 160 million. Also, small side note, they also lost about $4 billion. But Microsoft wasn't fazed. They had always expected to lose money on the Xbox. The company just saw it as the price they had to pay to get their foot in the door. And now, with one console behind them, Microsoft could take everything they had learned from the Xbox to ensure the 360 gave Sony a run for their money. The first step was making it smaller. With the Xbox, Microsoft had achieved the most technically powerful console of its generation. But it was also an absolute brick. Hell, even the controller was massive. And it was these factors that ultimately led to the Xbox completely flopping in Japan. Now, this was a market that Microsoft did not want to miss out on again. If the company was going to have any chance of winning over Sony's home turf, they would need to make a console that was easier to fit in the home and your hands. This inspired Microsoft to take an incredibly design-focused approach to their next console, which, at least in terms of aesthetics, certainly paid off. I mean, the 360 was straight up sexy. Who could forget that subtle, double concave casing, that tasteful eggshell white finish, the chrome bezel glistening off the disk drive, and that glorious, glowing green ring of life?
Bet they wish that was the name that caught on.
It was a work of art. The Xbox 360 looked like whatever ominous, arcane energy source was previously inside the Xbox had been captured, tamed, and converted into green energy, while also brandishing a brand new look that made the console much more approachable and compact. So compact that it was actually becoming difficult to fit the parts inside. You see, in order to maintain the company's newfound reputation for high-performance hardware, Microsoft would need to cram as much power into the console as they could without compromising its aesthetics. And this turned out to be quite tricky to do. You ever wonder why the 360's power supply is on the outside of the console? Well, that's because they simply ran out of space on the inside. Oh, and the thing was a frickin' brick, too, so much for compact. The end result was a machine with an incredibly cramped and sloppy internal architecture that left it exceptionally prone to overheating. But Microsoft didn't have time to optimize. The company was way too focused on getting the 360 built, shipped, and on shelves as soon as possible. And most importantly, before the PS3. Microsoft felt like one of the reasons the original Xbox undersold was because it launched over a year after Sony's PS2, losing the company a significant portion of the next-gen market. But not this time. This time it was going to be Microsoft that launched the next generation. Unfortunately, this attitude would lead to a lot of corner cutting with the 360. Along with its shoddy engineering, the console's problems were made even worse from an underfunded testing process that left the console riddled with bugs. But with a hasty launch date set for November of 2005, Microsoft was forced to push forward. And yet, they didn't seem too worried. In fact, during the final, most pivotal months of the project, Microsoft was actually pulling engineers off the Xbox to go work on other hardware. Now, this was Microsoft. What other major hardware project could they have possibly been working on that could have been more important than the...
Oh my god! The Zune?
Okay, now when this came up in my research, it boggled me. I mean, at this point, Microsoft had only begun making hardware a few years prior. And yet, in 2005, the company was apparently attempting to simultaneously disrupt two major consumer electronics industries at the same time. It was irresponsibly ambitious. And by the way it sounded, the dual projects were stretching the Xbox team way too thin. But it was only when the company actually began manufacturing that the shit really hit the fan. Or lack thereof. I mean, this thing got hot. The 360's cramped components and lack of proper cooling were causing a myriad of fatal issues with the new console. And those problems really only started to show once they got to making them. In a memo recorded in August of 2005, literally 3 months before launch, the manufacturing floor was reporting, quote, overheating graphics chips, cracking heat sinks, cosmetic issues with the casing, and a problem with the DVD drive.
And for anyone who recalls, that last problem was almost bad enough to warrant an entire video in itself.
As a result, the defects facing the 360 produced devastatingly low yield rates during its manufacturing, resulting in a stockpile of over 500,000 defective units and an inventory shortage that affected its entire launch. But Microsoft had still technically accomplished their goal. In November 2005, the company had officially managed to launch their new console an entire year before Sony's PS3, making Microsoft the official leaders of the next generation. But they had also begun development of the 360 a year after Sony had started on their new console, which meant that, in total, Microsoft had spent a whole 2 years less time working on the 360 than Sony did on the PS3. Was that really a good thing? Spoiler alert! Now! Almost immediately after its launch, customers began experiencing all sorts of problems with Microsoft's new console. From disk drives scratching games beyond repair, to overheating consoles, to obnoxiously loud fans. But one particular problem was rising above the rest. Forums were describing an error in which the Xbox's green power button would turn bright red and flash 3 blinking lights, often rendering the Xbox unresponsive in the process. Now, for everyone who was so new to the console, this probably looked pretty unsettling. Up until this point, everything about the 360, from its design to its marketing to the aesthetics of its dashboard, were developed to feel friendly and approachable, almost like an Apple product. And that ring around its power button looked like the symbol of its vitality. So seeing it switch from an eco-friendly green to a flashing blood red, it was kind of creepy.
But in reality, those sinister-looking lights were really just an error code, and depending on how many lit up, determined what was wrong with your console. Now, one red light meant you had a hardware failure. That meant that somewhere, something inside the console had broken down. 2 flashing lights meant the console was overheating. Inconvenient? Yes. But fatal? Probably not.
Now, the third error code was a different story. 3 red lights on your 360 indicated a hardware failure of 1 or more components. Now, this was the error associated with the red ring of death, and it usually meant your 360 was so fried that it couldn't even muster up an error code on the screen. You'd often just get some kind of demented graphical glitch, and some players would even report blaringly loud noises from their TV that they could not turn down.
What's going on?
A vast majority of the time, this error indicated that your console was absolutely toast. But then, there was the 4th error code, the one indicated by 4 flashing red lights, the one that completed that sinister red ring and proclaimed to all those unfortunate enough to bear witness that their AV cables were unplugged. That's right, folks. That's right. Don't let the scariest looking one fool you. It's actually comically benign.
Now, at first, the problem wasn't that big.
You see, the RROD was a latent defect, meaning the problem didn't typically arise until after extended use of the console.
Which meant that for the first year, Microsoft was able to very easily downplay the problem. Just days after launch, a spokesperson for Microsoft released a statement claiming the company had received a few isolated reports of dysfunctional consoles, but that the issues were affecting a, quote, very, very small fraction of units sold. Now, even if that was true, it wouldn't be small for long. By the middle of 2006, instances of the red ring had begun to appear for a concerning amount of Xbox owners, with retailer surveys suggesting that at least 30% of players were now experiencing the issue. For Microsoft, it was becoming hard to ignore. Customer report calls were coming in by the thousands, all from victims of the Red Ring desperately looking to Microsoft for answers. And their response was kind of funny. You see, tech support was well aware of the 360's growing hardware defect, but they had also been explicitly instructed never to refer to the problem as the Red Ring of Death.
I mean, the optics of having such a satanic-looking error code were already bad enough, but it really wasn't helping that it also now had a badass name.
So for Microsoft, the problem was simply known as the 3 blinking lights. And as for what they could do for you, well, it wasn't much. Even though the company was fully aware of the 360's hardware issues prior to launch, Microsoft only offered customers a standard warranty of 3 months, meaning that by the time users had experienced the defect, their warranty was well past expired. So what could you do? Well, you could either take the hit and pay Microsoft to fix your console, or you could try and take the matters into your own hands. By now, online repair communities had seen the problem enough to understand it. The Red Ring of Death was mainly caused by stresses induced from turning the console on and off over the course of several months. This action was technically known by professionals as power cycling, but for the humble layman, it was simply called playing your Xbox. Due to a design error, the act of power cycling would cause dramatic fluctuations to the console's internal temperature, eventually drying out the soldering on the GPU. And disconnecting it from the motherboard. But the internet had a solution. The idea was to find a way to heat your Xbox up as much as possible in order to melt the solder inside the console and reconnect the components. This is a fairly common repair technique known as reflowing, and it's usually performed with a soldering iron or a reflow machine by a skilled technician. But in this case, it was 13-year-old boys ripping the PCB out of their Xbox and throwing it in their mom's oven. Or, for the slightly less enlightened, putting your entire 360 in the oven. But that wasn't the only fix. Along with the infamous oven trick, there was also a concerning amount of people just blasting their motherboard with blowtorches. Like this lady, who does it indoors, on a wooden table.
Oh no, it caught fire. Quick, blow it out. You can do it. Blow it out.
Thankfully, there were other, less hazardous ways to try and reflow your Xbox, but no matter what method you ended up using, they were almost always temporary fixes, and customers were lucky if it gave them even a couple more days of playability. So what was left to do? Well, if your console was bricked and you couldn't afford repairs, there was still one last way to get some entertainment.
That's the first time I've seen this shit.
Red f***ing ring of death.
Again?
This is the 5th Xbox I've been through.
Microsoft, you suck.
I swear to God, dude, this is the last f***ing time. This is pissing me off.
Please move! What?
Holy.
Thanks, Microsoft, for making us such a brilliant machine.
So there's to you, Xbox. Letting me down so many times.
Hey, Xbox, thanks. I hope you could refurbish this shit.
Okay, so right around here is when Xbox realized they really screwed up. I mean, the optics of having an inherent hardware defect were already bad enough. But when customers were nearly burning their houses down trying to fix their Xboxes, and then subsequently splintering them with baseball bats in viral videos, it was clear there was a serious problem.
And Microsoft knew it too, whether they wanted to admit it or not. For the first 2 years of the console's lifecycle, Microsoft was quietly releasing version after version of new motherboards in an attempt to fix the hardware's shoddy engineering problems. And while each subsequent iteration did improve the console's failure rate, with the release of games like Gears of War and Halo 3, the graphical demands of next-gen titles were placing even more stress on the console's hardware. The problem was persisting. But apart from extending the warranties for a handful of affected players, the company had done very little to publicly acknowledge the issue. And in the end, it was the players who suffered. Some accounts tell of customers sending their consoles in for repairs 3, 4, even 5 times, amounting to hundreds of dollars in repair fees that the vast amount of warranties no longer covered. With Microsoft's return policy, the company was essentially saying to their customers that these repeated hardware failures just weren't their fault. But this strategy would not work forever. By 2007, the Red Ring of Death was viral. Having been the first console to launch during the dawn of social media, the problems players were experiencing with the 360 were being broadcasted for the entire world to see. For the vast majority of gamers, it was now common knowledge that the Xbox 360 was suffering from a critical hardware defect that its parent company was refusing to acknowledge. And may I remind you, this was a company that had yet to become profitable and was still building their reputation in the hardware industry. They literally couldn't afford a problem like this. And with the recent release of the PlayStation 3, Microsoft no longer had the hardcore gaming market all to themselves. This was becoming a life or death situation. If the Xbox division wanted any chance of salvaging their reputation, any hope of facing Sony in the next generation of the console wars, they would need to employ a strategy that acknowledged the problem, admitted full responsibility, and resolved customers' issues, no questions asked. And to their credit, they eventually did that. In July of 2007, Microsoft made an official public statement acknowledging the Red Ring of Death, or the 3 blinking lights, as a critical hardware defect inherent to the 360. As a result, 100% of customer repair fees were refunded, original warranties were extended for 3 whole years, and all consoles affected were repaired or replaced free of charge. Except the ones people obliterated with baseball bats. It was incredibly expensive for the company. Robbie Bach, the then head of Xbox division, called the move the quote, biggest decision he made in 22 years at Microsoft. A decision that ended up costing the company $1.15 billion. But it was the right move. To this day, Xbox is still praised for the way they handled the issue, once they finally admitted to it, and the decision is often cited as the one that ultimately saved the Xbox brand. And it also bought them just enough time
to actually fix the issue. In 2008, Microsoft released Jasper, the 360's fourth generation motherboard and the one that virtually eliminated the red ring of death for good. From there, the 360 could finally begin to heal, enjoying the remaining 5 years of its life cycle engaged in fierce competition with Sony and officially cementing itself as a worthy faction in the console wars. But who actually ended up winning? After all of Xbox's hard work trying to compete with Sony, which company managed to lead in sales, beat out their rival, and crown themselves king of the 7th generation? That's right, the Wii! In 2007, Nintendo placed a wild gamble on the weird new world of casual gaming, and it paid off big time. The Wii was Nintendo's comeback console, beating both Microsoft and Sony in sales and leaving both companies in a frantic struggle to replicate its success. But that's another story for another time. All in all, I think Microsoft learned a very important lesson from the Xbox 360, one that the company arguably needed to learn in order to succeed. In 2005, Microsoft developed their new console with the exact kind of naivete you would expect from a software company. The Xbox wasn't just some program that you could rush to release and fix later with patches. It was hardware. And Microsoft's obsession with beating Sony to market and looking cool while doing it didn't almost just lose them the generation. It almost cost them the brand. Which probably explains why every subsequent Xbox has just been, well, a box. Sure, it's not pretty, but at least it doesn't... And I think it's also a testament to the company's mentality today. In the early days, Xbox
Joyful Plum, and today I'm going to get a job.
Get a fucking job, bitch!
Shut the fuck up, asshole!
God damn!
Gee there, Plum, you should calm down a bit. Okay, so recently I came across this one AI TikTok page. It was called Joyful Plum Official, and it's just annoying orange parodies that are made from AI, and it's so weird. Let me show you.
I am Joyful Plum. And who the fuck are you? Why, I am Happy Lime. Shut the fuck up, you're not joyful enough. Come back to me when you're more joyful.
Prime example of this. By the way, during this excursion, I literally saw an ad of a pregnant woman getting beaten, by the way. Like, what is this?
My phone.
I guess we know one of Evil Plum's victims.
Take her down!
By the way, just a side tangent, he's following only 2 other people, and their names are Ricky Jomblert and Mr. Stunk. At first I thought they were behind this, but then I looked at Ricky's page, and then he posted this.
Holy shit, guys, I'm Moots with Joyful Plum Official. Really, guys, Joyful Plum is Moots with me. Joyful Plum, can I be in your next video, please?
Calm down, bud. That's for me and me only. Then on the other hand, Mr. Stunk's just posting weird SpongeBob burping.
Who are you?
I am Zesty Zucchini.
That doesn't sound too joyful.
Come here and kiss me on my hot mouth.
Give it up for my new Twitter profile picture, guys. My personal favorite video is the one with Quiet Apple.
I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Quiet Apple. Fucking talk, you bitch!
I can't help it, he's just so chill.
Shut the fuck up and get a life!
Whoa, okay, asshole. Jesus Christ.
I love that because it's AI, he looks different in every single video, so he goes from looking like the actual annoying orange to looking like O.J. Simpson versus the annoying orange.
Focus studying gore guy, he doesn't have Fortnite. Mind you have evidence or mine's like you're not.
No taper fade, you know.
I forgot to mention the theme song.
Joyful Plum, he brings joy to kids, adults, dads, and moms. He's not annoying and like that guy, but he sure is happy, my oh my. Before your happiness goes numb, it's time to watch some Joyful Plum.
Oh, hey! Hi! Look at me! I'm shiny and round, and you're gonna love this! Guess what? Guess what? I am Joyful Plum! What's that? Ah!
Joyful Plum. Connor likes Sartin Stuff 2763. Says Joyful Plum, why do you hate laughter? Didn't you laugh when a live lemon became alive?
Shut the hell up, Connor! I do hate laughter! It's nothing about me and a live lemon. You hear that? Nothing! So zip it! I don't want to hear one more giggle, not one more chuckle. Got it? Good! Hey, I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Irritating Tomato. I'm always fucking angry! I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Alive Lemon! He's fucking dead. Well, that was a ripoff. Today, we're doing the Touch My Body Challenge with Alive Lemon! Isn't that right? Man, I can't do shit with you! Why the fuck you take me to a building full of people laughing? I fucking hate laughter! I'm tearing this place down! I am Joyful Plum. And who the fuck are you? Why, I am Happy Lime! Shut the fuck up! You're not joyful enough! Come back to me when you're more joyful! Today, we're interviewing Alive Lemon! How does it feel to be so alive than anyone else? Ramen? I never tried that before. Nice! Wow! I really am a live lemon! Today, we're doing the Touch My Body Challenge with a live lemon! For real this time! From outer space! Got any jokes?
Why did the kitchen cross the road?
Why?
To get to the 6-7 fam club.
That was really bad. Oh, hey! Hi! Look at me! I'm shiny and round, and you're gonna love this! Guess what? Guess what? I am Joyful Plum! What's that? Ah!
What makes you move? Game on! What makes you move? What makes you shake it up while you're getting down to groove? Yeah, baby. Might be the rhythm, or it might be the bass. That's right now. That's right now. Might be the bass. That's or it might be the bass. That's right now. Might be those might be those funky sounds or a groove from outer space. It's that thump that makes you fall. It's that beat that can
I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Irritate. I am Joyful Plum, and today I'm going to get a job.
get a fucking job, bitch!
Shut the fuck up, asshole!
God damn!
I am Joyful Plum, and today I'm gonna dig it.
That's my Michael's secret lasagna! Don't that pig!
I Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Grumpy Eggplant.
Shut the fuck up and get a life!
Whoa, okay, asshole. Christ. I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Quiet Apple. Fucking talk, you bitch! I am Joyful Plum. Well, currently I'm being against legal action because I was too joyful. Thanks a fucking lot, Laughing Orange, you piece of shit!
Makes you
Plum, and I bring joy to everyone, and I do not like laughter. Laughter is the most annoying shit ever! Shut the fuck up, you annoying piece of shit! Today, we're doing the Joyful Challenge with Grumpy Eggplant!
Get the fuck out of here!
That wasn't joyful, that was just being rude.
From outer space, it's that thought that makes you fall. It's that leap that can't be beat. It's that thought that makes you go ball. Shake your seat and move your feet.
Get a fucking job, bitch!
Shut the fuck up, asshole!
Goddamn!
I am Joyful Plum, and today I'm gonna dig it.
That's my Michael's secret lasagna, you fucking pig!
I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Grumpy Eggplant.
Shut the fuck up and get a life!
Whoa, okay, asshole. Jesus Christ. I am Joyful Plum, and this is my friend, Quiet Apple. Fucking talk, you bitch! I am Joyful Plum. Well, currently I'm being against legal action because I was too joyful. Thanks a fucking lot, Laughing Orange, you piece of shit! I am Joyful Plum, and I bring joy to everyone, and I do not like laughter. Laughter is the most annoying shit ever! Shut the fuck up, you annoying piece of shit! Today, we're doing the Joyful Challenge with Grumpy Eggplant.
Get the fuck out of here!
That wasn't joyful. That was just being rude.
So a groove from outer space. It's that thought that makes from outer space. It's that thought that makes you fall.
Mama,
It's that leap that can't be beat. It's makes you fall. It's that makes you fall. It's that those funky sounds or a groove from outer space. It's that thump that makes you fall. Makes you fall. It's that
This first game's called Horror Night Story. Typical day for shot firers. Huh? WTF? Yeah, that's Crash Bandicoot. Wait a minute. Is that a Plants vs. Zombie? Oh my god. This is something real special already. Oxygen state. I mean, okay. I don't think I've ever quite. I don't get it. It's okay. It's not like I need to play these games for more than a minute to understand what we're looking at. This is a Five Nights at Freddy clone? That's that shit. Click and hold to add fuel. Click to startle monsters.
Shush. Shush.
it's that leaf that can't be. It's that thump that makes you go bullshit.
Only the highest quality gaming on Sunday stream. Can't do that. Okay. That's it? That's the game? Very cool game. Next, we're gonna do Skibbity Toilet 2. I'm sorry. Listen. When you saw the word trash and browser, you had to imagine there's going to be some...
Those funky sounds or a groove from outer space. It's that thump that makes you fall. It's that leaf that